Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the July 7th regular meeting of Council. I'd like to first recognize that we are gathered on the traditional territory of the Snuneymuxw First Nation. Our clerk tonight will be Ms. Sheila Gurry. We also have Councillor Brown attending electronically tonight. Tonight's meeting of Council is being held in accordance with the Community Charter and Council Procedure Bylaw 2018, number 7272. If during the meeting any member of the gallery has a question regarding an agenda item, please write down your name and the agenda item on the question period sign-up sheet, which is on the table by the double doors to my left. And please note that the Council Procedure Bylaw states that questions will only be taken on staff reports, consent items, or other business items. Before we start the meeting, I would like to take a few moments to remind those who are attending in person about the rules of decorum for all Council and committee meetings. A meeting of Council is intended to be a place where democracy can freely take place in a respectful and safe manner. Council chambers is a workplace, and there are considerations Council and staff must make to ensure that a safe work environment exists in accordance with WorkSafe BC regulations. To support this, and in accordance with Council's procedure bylaw, disrespectful conduct will not be tolerated, so we ask that there be no cheering, jeering, or other outbursts from the gallery at any time. Furthermore, the use of electronic devices for recording or photographing is prohibited unless otherwise authorized by the Chair. This will ensure that anyone speaking, whether it be a delegation, member of Council, or staff, is not interrupted and can make their point freely without distraction, fear of ridicule, or intimidation. In instances where a speaker is being inappropriate or has exceeded their time limit, their microphone will be cut off. Similarly, if there are outbursts by any person in the gallery, they will be asked to stop, and if they do not comply, they may be asked to leave as permitted under Section 133 of the Community Charter. If necessary, Council may call a recess in order to reset the environment of the Council chambers. It is our belief that if everyone is respectful of these basic considerations, this meeting and future meetings will be more effective in furthering the business of the City of Nanaimo. The first item on the agenda is the introduction of late items, and Ms. Gurry, and we have a couple.
Yes, thank you, Your Worship. Just of note, the addendum is outdated, and since it was published on Friday, Marcus Dunn has requested to no longer be a delegation. So we will not be reordering the agenda, and for late items, we have two. Agenda item 12A, Development Variance Permit for application DVP 477 for 4286 Departure Bay Road. We're adding a delegation from Liz Reich, Permit Administrator, Country Signs. And agenda item 13C, Liquor License Application number LA160 for Unit 205, 2000 Island Highway North. We're adding a delegation from Knock Lutran. And that's it, Your Worship.
Thank you very much. Motion for adoption of the agenda is amended. Moved Councillor Thorpe, seconded Councillor Manley. All those in favour? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Motion for adoption of the minutes is circulated. Moved Councillor Eastmere, seconded Councillor Armstrong. All those in favour? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Mayor's report. I have a couple of items. What I will call a public safety reminder, as the heat is upon us. During this dry season, people must be extremely cautious about discarding lit cigarettes due to the high risk of fires. Smoldering discarded cigarette butts can easily ignite dry grass, mulch, and other vegetation, especially when it's hot, and next week is going to be very warm. I'm aware of some recent fire incidents in the city related to this. It's crucial to use ashtrays properly and avoid throwing cigarette butts on the ground, in potted plants, garbage cans, or out of car windows. Smoking outside or tossing a lit cigarette from a vehicle, especially when combined with carelessness, is a significant fire hazard and on a greater scale leading to wildfires. Hot, dry weather creates extremely flammable conditions, making it easier for even a small spark to start a large wildfire. Discarded cigarette butts contribute to overall fire risk and can have serious consequences for public safety and infrastructure. I ask everyone to please be responsible. We received a letter from the Canadian Federation of Independent Businesses asking on behalf of their 9,700 members plus in British Columbia to support and champion your local communities and entrepreneurial spirit by encouraging consumers to shop local and support #small business every day this July. I encourage everyone who is thinking about the state of our economy and concerned for their community and their fellow citizens who rely on employment with small businesses to consider that. According to CFIB's latest research, 80% of small businesses report they've been affected by the US-Canada trade war, with rising costs, a weaker Canadian dollar, and pricing uncertainty creating substantial pressures. Despite these challenges, small businesses continue to contribute deeply to our local economies. In British Columbia, 66 cents of every dollar spent at a local business stays in the community, in comparison to only 11 cents when spent at a multinational and only 9 cents on an online giant. So, folks, let's support one another in these troubling times. Buy local, shop local, support your local small businesses. Now, the city is also calling on all artists, seeking artists for urban design, our urban design roster. The City of Nanaimo invites all emerging and established artists and designers from across British Columbia to submit portfolios to the 2026-2028 urban design roster. This unique opportunity allows creative folks to play a direct role in shaping Nanaimo's public spaces through art and design. Launched in 2021, the Urban Design Roster has become a valuable tool, helping the city integrate artistic vision into public spaces and enhancing Nanaimo's visual identity. Artists selected for the roster will be considered for projects that arise through city infrastructure, upgrades or renewals, and maintenance. Projects may include murals on civic buildings, surface treatments in public play areas, decorative utility covers, urban street design, and contributions to active transportation, beautification, sanitation, and anti-vandalism efforts. To view the application details and requirements, please visit the city's website. Now, we all rely on our city infrastructure, but nobody likes the construction that has to precede successful community works. The City of Nanaimo is replacing a sanitary sewer main and water main along Hammond Bay Road starting the week of June 30th, 2025. This project focuses on underground pipe between the Turner Road and Rutherford Road intersections. Commuters can expect single-lane traffic along the stretch of road for significant periods during the construction phase of this project. Once the underground work is complete, above-ground infrastructure, including road paving and replacement of aging traffic signals, will wrap up the project. Construction is expected to continue until the spring of 2026. Single alternating lane traffic will be in place Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. First priority to travel through the site will be given to pedestrians, cyclists, and public transit. Please consider turning off vehicles while waiting in the queue. And upgrading this critical infrastructure along the busy Hammond Bay corridor ensures reliable service and the ability to accommodate additional population growth. And finally, the City of Nanaimo is calling on youth across British Columbia to help shape the streetscape of 2026 through the creation of original artwork for its annual Street Banner program. Each year, this banner program brings a fresh wave of creativity to the city's downtown arts district, Bowen Road, 3rd Street, and other major routes. The 2026 program will feature art created by youth, transforming city streets into a vibrant expression of youth identity, imagination, and insight. This call is open to youth artists under the age of 19 at all levels of experience currently living in British Columbia. The 2026 Street Banner theme invites youth artists to share their unique perspectives, experiences, ideas, and hopes for the future. A drop-in information session will be held at the Bowen Complex on Tuesday, September 9th, 2025 from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And it serves as an opportunity for youth artists to meet the city's culture team, ask questions, and get creative guidance. Again, for full guidelines and more information, please visit the city's website. We're now on to the Horizon Report. We have 3 items. The first is member-at-large appointments to the Advisory Committee on Accessibility and Inclusiveness. At the in-camera meeting on June the 9th, Council appointed Andrea Dillingham-Lecourcière to the Advisory Committee on Accessibility for a term ending October 16th, 2026. In addition, during the June 16th in-camera meeting, Council appointed Eliza Gardner, Peter S. Petralia, and Michael Armstrong to the Nanaimo Performing Arts Guild to fill the remainder of a term ending December 16th, 2026. And finally, during the June 16th in-camera meeting as well, Council appointed Architectural Institute of British Columbia Representative Dusan Nikolic to the Design Advisory Panel for a 2-year term commencing July the 11th, 2025 and ending July the 11th, 2027. We have no presentation. Committee minutes are just for receipt. I'm going to ask for a motion for the adoption of consent items in a seconder, and then I'll ask if anyone wishes to have any of them spoken to. Moved. Consent items, seconded Councillor Hemmens, and any that wish to be withdrawn and spoken to separately. Councillor Thorpe?
Thank you, Your Worship. If I may, I would request that item 10B2 be removed from consent.
Very good. And Councillor Armstrong? Sorry?
Yeah, I would like 10A1 just for clarification.
And that's 10B1,
A1.
A1. Thank you. And on the ones that are not withdrawn, all those in favor? Any opposed? None? Now we'll deal with Councillor Thorpe first, please, and that is 10B2.
Yes, thank you very much, Your Worship. There we are. Thank you very much, Your Worship. This is to do with invasive plant management and control, and my apologies, but I was not able to take part in the debate when this was approved at the committee level. The recommendation has three parts. One deals with a public awareness campaign, which I have no problem with. One deals with updating our city's invasive plant management strategy, which I have no problem with. But the first part suggests that staff begin a phased approach to draft a bylaw that prohibits the sale and distribution of specific species on the Invasive Plant Council of BC lists within the city limits. And I read the staff reports on this very carefully, and I found them very interesting, and what I came away with, quite frankly, was the fact that the problem of invasive plants lies almost exclusively in public lands, parklands, forest woodlands, and so on. And this proposed drafting of a bylaw is aimed directly at home gardeners who are purchasing plants from their local greenhouses. Things like comfrey and St. John's wort and Daphne, which, quite frankly, I find no reason why local gardeners should not be allowed to purchase those and put them in pots in their backyard if they so wish. So for me, the problem, and unless I am instructed or informed otherwise, is more in forest lands, not in home gardeners, in home gardens, and I don't feel that a draft bylaw is going to solve the problem of invasive species. So I just don't feel it's worth the time and effort that staff would need to put into this. The other components, as I say, of the recommendations, I'm fine with, but because they're all lumped together, I'm compelled, I think, to vote against this, and I just don't see it as being a productive use of staff time. And in fact, I would suggest that any such bylaw aimed at home gardens would, in fact, in itself be invasive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Councillor Thorpe. Councillor Eastmere.
Thank you. I just want to thank Councillor Thorpe for your comments, and in the extensive coverage on this, the Invasive Species Council of BC noted that an estimated 60% of invasive species are intentionally planted, and we are hearing from experts that particularly from garden waste and compost, when people put invasive species into the compost, the seeds and sprouts can grow from there. So this is about taking responsibility at the local level and really protecting the consumer from planting something that they may not be aware is harmful to the environment, and it's really putting the onus on the retailers, which is why I think this is an important component. So I am hopeful that council will maintain support for this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All those in favor and any opposed? Councillor Thorpe, motion carries. Thank you very much. Councillor Armstrong.
Thank you. You need to push the button.
It's
not showing up on here. Okay, thanks. If Mr. Sims could just advise me on this question, because both of the town site road at St. Patrick's Crescent is a major ambulance route, and people are raising concerns about ambulance being consulted. Could you please comment to that, please?
Thanks, Your Worship. Certainly, as your council's fairly well aware, we often consult with emergency services on any of the transportation projects, especially those such as traffic calming that may impede or interfere with their routes. And typically with the fire department's very quick to respond and engaged in traffic calming, but our referrals usually to BC Ambulance Service don't elicit much in the way of response. So we rather than chasing them along, we assume that things are fine. Thanks.
Yeah, I appreciate that, because I just wanted to make sure people understood that the city does make every effort to consult, and if they, and I would be the same, if they're not replying back, then that, I would assume that they're in favor, so thank you very much for that.
Thank you. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. We have no delegations unrelated to agenda items, and the first item under reports is Development Variance Permit Application Number DVP 477-4286 Departure Bay Road. Mr. Holm, please, good evening.
Thank you, Your Worship, and good evening to you and council. This is simply a development variance permit to allow additional height in relation to two signs to be attached to the freestanding canopy of an existing fuel service station at the corner of Norwell Drive and Departure Bay. You can see it outlined in red on the screen, and notification has taken place, and I can answer any questions if council has any. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I understand we do have a delegation, Liz Retsch, I hope I've pronounced it correctly, Permanent Administrator of Country Signs, who is available for questions if council has any. Have we got her on? Yes, she is.
Yeah, she's up there, Your Worship, but, so if
There-
council has any questions, she's available.
Are there any questions from council members? All right. Is there anyone here wishing to speak to Development Variance Permit Application Number DVP 477-4286 Departure Bay Road? Not seeing anyone. Someone care to make the recommended motion? Move Councillor Armstrong. Sorry, Councillor Eastmere, was there? Sorry. And seconded, Councillor Hemmons. All those in favor and any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. The next is B, rezoning application number RA 516-3397 Tunner Road. Again, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you, Your Worship. And this is a rezoning for property outlined in red on the screen overhead, located between Uplands Drive and Opal Road on Tunner Road. And what's proposed in concept is 34 units, ground-oriented form of development consistent with the suburban neighborhood designation for the property. In this case, of course, this is purely a residential proposal, so there would be no a public hearing related to this application as per provincial legislation. The concept includes, as I mentioned, 34 ground-oriented units. The community amenity contribution proposal is approximately $129,000, with 40% directed to the Housing Legacy Reserve and 60% directed to parks and trails. It's a pretty straightforward residential zoning in line with the OCP designation, the city plan designation for the property. I'm happy to take any questions. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Councillor Armstrong?
Thank you. Yes, I'm just concerned, and it's been addressed in the plan about the traffic, but we've had so many different complaints from that area before, and adding that many new vehicles, because they're all going to be driving for the most part. A lot of people still use that as a connector road. Like you said, that you don't anticipate it will be a problem, but a lot of people will go down that road to go to Hammond Bay, to go up that direction instead of going up Uplands. What are the plans for that if it becomes excessive cars again? It's a shortcut to the school as well, right?
Yeah, through your worship to Councillor Armstrong, definitely we've heard, council's heard historically and probably ongoing on concerns with respect to shortcutting between neighborhoods. This property, given the scale of it and its location, would not, staff would not anticipate this to aggravate the problem. If anything, the improvements to Tunner Road that we'll see in the additional access and activity there will slow traffic, if anything, and but it wouldn't contribute to the volume in any meaningful way, in any impactful way.
Are sidewalks part of this?
Yes, there would be on Tunner Road fronting the property.
Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Eastmere? Acting Mayor?
Thank you. Councillor Armstrong is actually acting Mayor at the moment.
Sorry. Where are we?
Oh, you want me to read? I thought she had a question, sorry.
Yep, it's Councillor Armstrong.
Okay. Recommendation that zoning amendment bylaw 2025, number 4500.240, to rezone 3397 Tuna Road from single dwelling residential R1 to row house residential R7 pass first reading.
Seconded Councillor Thorpe. All those in favor? Any opposed? None? Councillor Armstrong?
Zoning amendment bylaw 2025, number 4500.240, pass second reading.
Seconded Councillor Hemmons. Any discussion? Not seeing any. All those in favor? Any opposed? None? Motion carries.
Zoning amendment bylaw 2025, number 450.240, pass third reading. And
And-
council directs staff to secure the conditions related to zoning amendment bylaw 2025, number 450.240, is outlined in the conditions of rezoning section of the staff report titled Rezoning Application Number RA 516-3397 Tuna Road, dated 2025, July 7.
Seconded Councillor Eastmere. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. We're on to 12C. Liquor license application number LA 160-unit 205-200030. Island Highway North. Mr. Holm, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is a liquor license application for property, a unit within Brooks Landing Shopping Center. You can see it outlined in red between Departure Bay and Highland Boulevard and the Island Highway. And this is simply a requirement of the Liquor and Cannabis Regulation Branch that local government provide comment on the application. Notification has taken place consistent with council's liquor licensing policy. 4 comments were received related to the proposal. This is a nail salon that's proposing to provide liquor service limited to 20 persons from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with their spa services. Happy to take questions. Otherwise, I think the information is clear in the report. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Thorpe, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Through you, if I may, to Mr. Holm. Am I correct, Mr. Holm, that council previously approved a very similar type application for a business in, was it Hammond Bay Center?
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do have a delegation, Nok Lu Tran. I don't know that, do you wish to make a presentation or are you just here for questions? Sorry, if you could just come to the mic so I can. Please, Mr. Tran, if you'll just introduce yourself for the record, and you'll have up to 5 minutes.
Yes. Yes. Hello, everyone. I'm Ngọc Liu Chen, the shareholder of Vin's Nail Boutique. We make the application for the liquor license to serve liquor for our customer. We provide service for our customer about pedicure, manicure, nail extension. When they doing pedicure, especially when they do pedicure, they want to be served liquor, so we want to add more service for them. We are located in Brook Landing, and around there a lot of streets, and the highway, buses, so it's not affect the traffic over there. And we close the door on time, so the noise disturbance is nearly no noise disturbance. And we have staff training for serve it right or CPR first aid. So yeah, we serve the customer with our quality staff there. So we just like to make we are ready for the liquor license to provide more service for our customer and provide more job for the community around us. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any questions for the delegation? Not seeing any, someone care to make the recommended motion? Moved Councillor Hemmons, seconded Councillor Armstrong. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you very much. Thank you for attendance, Mr. Tran. The next is D, Amendment to Home Energy Retrofit Financing Program Bylaw. Mr. Holm, once again, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is simply a housekeeping matter. A bylaw was adopted in April, on April 17th by Council to support a PACE-style home energy retrofit program. So PACE is property assessed clean energy. So this is just cleaning up terminology in the bylaw. The bylaw referred to loan or lending, or when in fact this is not a loan program. Contractors are paid directly if a property owner were to apply and successfully be accepted into the program and the local area service to support that. So this is just cleaning up the language in the bylaw to clarify that this is not lending money, it's actually paying contractors directly for work undertaken. Happy to take questions. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Not seeing any questions. Councillor Armstrong, please.
Nothing, oh, there we go. Recommendation that Home Energy Retrofit Financing Program Amendment Bylaw 2025, number 7393.01, a bylaw to address housekeeping amendments, pass first reading.
Seconded Councillor Hemmons. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries.
Home Energy Retrofit Financing Program and Amendment Bylaw 2025, number 7393.01, pass second reading.
Seconded Councillor Hemmons. Any discussion? Not seeing any. All those in favor?
And Home Energy Retrofit Financing Program Amendment Bylaw 2025, number 7393.01, pass third reading.
Seconded Councillor Hemmons. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. We're on to item E, Deputy Approving Officer, Mr. Holm.
Thank you, Your Worship. This is another housekeeping matter, really. It's a business continuity related item. So municipalities, local governments, well actually municipalities are required to appoint approving officers to undertake subdivision of land as charged by the legislation. And in this case, the city has two approving officers. It's myself as well as Claire Nagrin, manager of subdivision. And then we have recently appointed Barb Thomas as manager of development engineering, and the request here is to have Barb Thomas appointed as approving officer as well. Staff in that role previously, Mr. Dean Mousseau, have retired, and Ms. Thomas has replaced Mr. Mousseau in that position, and it's important to have somebody available to approve subdivisions and do that work. So to ensure business continuity in that regard, staff are requesting that Ms. Thomas be appointed as approving officer. Thank you.
Thank you very much. She's an excellent choice.
Move the recommendation.
Moved Councillor Thorpe, seconded Councillor Armstrong. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carries. We're on to 13 bylaws. Off-street parking regulations amendment bylaw 2025, number 7266.04.
That off-street parking regulations amended bylaw 2025, number 7266.04, to eliminate minimum parking requirements in the downtown urban center be adopted.
Seconded, Councillor Eastmere. All those in favor? Any opposed? None. Motion carried. Oops, sorry, Councillor Thorpe is opposed. Anyone else? No. Motion carries.
This one.
We have no correspondence. We have no notices of motion. Any other business? Not seeing any. Question period. Ms. Gurry? Raised crosswalks, Mr. Pluta. Please, if you'd introduce yourself for the record, ask your question, please.
Great, thank you. My name is Frank Pluta. I'm a resident of Nanaimo, 150 Solaire Drive. I've been in and out of the community for the last 35 years and currently been here for the last 20. My question comes up with the raised sidewalks. Now, how do you determine a price of $100,000 for raised asphalt?
Mr. Sims, I think you can probably answer this.
Thanks, Your Worship. The price is really based on the work that we've seen in the past. We've seen tremendous escalation in costs, and these are appear relatively simple, but carefully thought through. And this is the price that we've seen as we built these out.
In fairness, if I can just ask for a bit more, a raised crosswalk generally involves other signals, et cetera. Is that fair to say, just to be clear?
Your Worship, thanks for the clarification. You're correct. It includes not only the asphalt hump, but may include some road regrading or drainage. It includes electrical for the flashing beacons that are several $1,000s as well.
So does that mean the build out from the sidewalk too? Like how they build out the curbs for the raised sidewalk? So I see very few electronic signals right now for our raised sidewalks. In particular on Estevan, there's one right by the new complex in the church. And you have a sign about this big that says raised sidewalk. Now, you have to be within 30 feet to see that sign. So there's something wrong with the design, the overall design, the implementation of the program to put those up fairly. So I'm thinking about the safety of people. You come running down there at 50, even at 50, you're gonna hurt your car.
I think we take your point, Mr. Pluta, but in fairness, I think the budgeted amounts that are referred to tonight reference the full meal deal, and that won't be true of every raised crosswalk. It's up to, doesn't mean we're just going to spend $100,000 willy-nilly, but we take your point. Thank you.
Okay, one last thing is I would object to not pursuing the ambulance service of a proper response because they're one of the primary, they'll be affected, one of the primary people that are affected with their ambulances trying to get emergency cases. And when you have that, and let's say you have a new driver who doesn't know the town yet, he's going to have a problem with the patient in the back possibly. So that presents a liability issue there.
Councillor Armstrong, you want to provide a further answer from council?
Yeah, that's exactly why I asked that question, but the fact remains we shouldn't have to keep chasing these people down. They're always, and I know you think we should, but at the end of the day, if it's important to them, they should be coming to the meetings. They're scheduled regularly, they know when they are, and they choose not to.
Do we pay for police service, ambulance service?
We don't pay for ambulance.
We don't pay for ambulance,
No.
okay.
It's
I'm just thinking that if
that's
they were an
provincial.
employee of the city, they should just be held accountable.
Pardon? I don't understand
You
the
know,
question.
they're not a part of the city, so therefore they can't be held accountable except for their own responses.
Yeah, like, I mean, if,
No, if it was like the police chief, let's say, which we pay for the police services, correct?
yeah, but the police are also involved in this. They all get notified of this, right? They all do.
And how do the police respond to this?
They don't, a lot of times. And the implication is if you're not responding, you don't have an issue.
As much as I appreciate the two of you may wish to have a discussion about this, I'd be happy to have you have that discussion off record.
That's
But
fine.
there is a process, and this is
Thank you
questioned.
for your responses.
Thank you. Motion for adjournment.
I'll move.
Councillor Thorpe, seconded Councillor Hemmons. All those in favor?